Hello students, today we are going to cover the third chapter of our movement book, that is Ishwaran the Storyteller. It is written by R.K. Lakshman. R.K. Lakshman, Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Lakshman. He is an Indian cartoonist, illustrator and humorist. He is widely regarded as India's greatest ever cartoonist and is best known for his creation, The Common Man. He is the younger brother of R.K. Narayan, the famous story writer. He has drawn cartoons for number of magazines and newspapers. He has achieved various awards, and one of them is Lifetime Achievement Award for Journalism. In this story, there are three characters. The first character is Mahendra. Mahendra is a supervisor of a company and he provides supervisors or junior supervisors to other construction companies. Ganesh is his co-worker and Ishwaran his cook. So Ishwaran is a perfect cook, hardworking person and a good storyteller. He expresses the story in an artistic way and in an ornamental way. In the beginning of the story, Mahendra narrated a story about his cook Ishwaran to Ganesh. In the beginning, Mahendra is telling a story about his cook Ishwaran to Ganesh. Mahendra worked as a junior supervisor in a company which provided junior supervisors to various construction companies on rent. He had to change place often and worked at various places: a coal mine, railway bridge, construction site and the construction site of the chemical plant. And Mahendra had to shift from one place to another place as per the instruction of the company. As Mahendra was unmarried or bachelor, he did not have a family. He was able to live in those temporary quarters provided at the construction site. So he had to live in the temporary quarters provided by the company at the construction site. Ishwaran was very close to Mahendra and accompanied him everywhere. He did not complain about the tough condition in which he had to live. Ishwaran cooked for him. He washed his clothes and gave him company by talking to him at night. Ishwaran had a quality that he was good at telling stories and he entertained Mahendra with his story, which were based on different subjects. Mahendra would wake up early in the morning, get ready, eat his breakfast, take his lunch along and go for his work. In the meantime, Ishwaran cleaned the living place, wash the clothes, take a bath, eat his lunch, read his favorite Tamil story book and take a nap. Ishwaran was having a good quality that he could speak story in a ornamental way, in a good way. He could express the story in a beautiful way as the listener would think that it is a true story, but it was not. Means the way of expression was very nice. The daily routine of Mahendra was he had to wake up early in the morning, get ready and he would go to his company. And he returned in the evening. Ishwaran would entertain Mahendra with his stories. And at the night or in the evening, Ishwaran entertained Mahendra with his story. He had the art of storytelling as he would use his gesture, facial expression and voice modulation in order to bring his characters to life. As students, at our home, our grandparents tell a story in an ornamental way or in a lively way. In the same way, Ishwaran also told the story to Mahendra. Even though the story seemed untrue, Iswaran narrated them in such a unique way that Mahendra listened to him with curiosity. The way Iswaran expressed the story, it created a curiosity in the mind of Mahendra. Iswaran would start a story with an introduction. He would lay the background of the characters, followed by the story. He described a simple incident in such detail along with action that it would create suspense in the listener's mind. Iswaran would tell the story in a different way. He started with the introduction, and when he told the story, he made alive the characters, or he speak in a lively way. So it was an incident of past. Once uh, Iswaran told Mahendra the story of an elephant that had escaped from the jungle and entered the town. The beast, that elephant, reached Iswaran's school. At that time, Iswaran was a boy and he was in school. As it destroyed the school property, all the students locked themselves off in the classroom, and no one was dared to go near that elephant. And that elephant was destroyed all the property of their school. At that time, Iswaran was studying in one of the junior classes. He was watching the incident from the rooftop. He took a stick from the teacher and came down stairs. In the ground, he walked towards the elephant as it threatened to attack him. Iswaran was not scared of it, and Iswaran, without fear, faced that elephant. He showed his bravery and stood in front of the elephant. He gathered all his strength and hit the elephant on his toenail quickly. This attack stunned the elephant. It fainted and fell on the ground. Iswaran did not complete the story and said that he was getting late for the dinner. He told Mahendra that with collecting his strength, he struck on the toenail of that elephant, and that elephant fell on the ground. And it was the time for dinner, so Iswaran did not complete the story. He went to get the dinner, but Mahendra was curious to know what happened next. As Iswaran did not continue with the story, Mahendra had to remind him that ending was pending. So it is the trick of Iswaran that he did not complete the story because he created a curiosity in the mind of the listener that he would ask him for the next story. Then Iswaran said that a veterinary doctor was called. He brought the elephant back to jungle. Mahendra asked Iswaran that how did he overpass the huge beast, or how could he gather all the strength? Iswaran replied that he used the technique of a Japanese martial art, which was either karate or jujitsu. He had read about it or about that martial art somewhere. That the martial art was able to make a person unconscious by paralyzing the nervous system. Every day Iswaran would narrate one of the stories which was entertaining for him and fulfilled the absence of television in his living quarter. Every day Iswaran would narrate a story, tell a story to Mahendra, and it was a backup of the television. So one morning Iswaran was asked permission to cook a special dinner, as it was the day when they cooked meal for the dead elders of the family. That evening, Mahendra enjoyed a tasty meal and complimented Iswaran on the cooking skill. As Mahendra was realizing that the meal to his dislike, Iswaran started narrating a story related to ghost and supernatural powers. After having the delicious dinner, Iswaran started a story about the ghost or supernatural power. He said that the factory area where they lived was earlier a burial ground. The very first day he had seen a skull lying around. He added that he was not afraid of ghosts and saw many bones and skulls. He told that the area where they were living, it is a area where he had found number of bones and skulls. On a full moon night, he saw ugly ghost of a woman who had shrunken face, matted hair, and held on one baby on its arm. He told that he saw a ghost in that area, and it was a lady ghost who was a terrible face, and she was carrying a unborn baby in its arms. After listening the story, Mahendra was uneasy. He scolded Iswaran for talking such nonsense. He said that ghosts did not exist and ordered him to get himself examined, as he thought that he had gone mad. And he scolded a lot for his nonsense talk. Since that day, Mahendra felt uneasy and would peep out of the window in order to check the presence of any ghost around. After that day, Mahendra started afraid of that area. Previously he was looking towards the open window and enjoyed the nature, but after listening the story, he was afraid of, and he was not looking for the stars or the natural beauty, but he was looking for the ghost. Means he thought that was there any ghost present. One night Mahendra woke up from his sleep. One night Mahendra woke up from his sleep as he heard someone crying. Someone was crying. At first he thought that it was a cat looking for mice. As the sound came, it was very harsh and deep. Mahendra could not ignore it and gave into desire of peeping out of the window. One day Mahendra heard a terrific sound, and he woke up and he tried to look out from the window. Means was there any ghost present? As he looked out, he saw the ghost he started sweating, breathing heavily, and fell back on the bed. After some time, Mahendra thought that probably his subconscious mind was playing a trick on him. Actually, there was no ghost. He got ready the next morning and had forgotten the incident of the previous night. Iswaran greeted him and gave him his lunch bag. He said that a few days ago Mahendra had scolded him for discussing the ghost, but last night he saw it himself. The very next day, Iswaran asked him that, "You also saw the same ghost which I have seen last night. Iswaran had heard Mohinder crying at night, and Iswaran said that I heard that you were crying last night. It was confirmed that Mohinder had seen the ghost the previous night, and it was not a trick played by his mind. And after that, Iswaran was sure that it was not a trick, but really he had seen a ghost outside the window. Once again Mohinder was frightened. He felt in a hurry and resigned from the job. And the next day Mohinder resigned from his job and left that place because he was sure that there was a ghost in that place. He could not live at a haunted place for a single day because he was afraid a lot after knowing that it was a haunted place and he could not live there. Okay, thank you.